What's going on, Bulls Nation? Welcome in to CHGO Bulls Summer League Live, coming to you from our headquarters here, Circa Resort and Casino in the one and only Las Vegas. Also presented by our friends at Coors Light. Make the most of your time so you choose to chill. Go to CoorsLight.com/CHGO basketball. Celebrate responsibly. I'm Peck, Bulls_Peck, joined by my crew, Big Day, Bam, BAWL Sports, Will the Go Gottlieb, Will_Gottlieb, our pal and producer on the controls over there, the one and only young Joseph Spadis. Day three. Summer League. We're going to break down the Bulls' win over the Milwaukee Bucks in their Summer League opener yesterday. Talk about Modest, talk about Sanogo, talk about Julian. Billy Donovan talking after the game. Also, a little bit of a Patrick Williams update that you got during the game yesterday. He was there watching with some of the other vets, sitting courtside, supporting their young teammates. And we'll also take a look ahead to tonight's matchup, second night of a back-to-back, Golden State Warriors against the Chicago Bulls. Lots of fun stuff to talk about. How are we doing, gentlemen? Rested? Alive? Day 3 of 5?
I'm all right. Everything's cool. I had fun yesterday. It was cool hanging out.
Great day yesterday.
It was really good.
Great day yesterday.
Really full day. I know you were definitely super busy, sir.
We were busy, but we had we just had a great time. A lot of cool stuff. Going to the games was fun. Got a chance to, talk with a bunch of really cool people, catch up with people. Had a great experience, at the Call of Duty event. And, I'm excited to get back to it today.
Also found a new favorite Joey as well. Yeah. Watching Joey work yesterday. I found my new favorite Joey, another favorite Joey. Joey
he
Redvest.
Kept on saying to me,
Joey
I don't know what I'm doing
Redvest
here.
is my guy.
I don't know if I'm
dude.
Am I deserving of this credential right now? I'm like, dude, you're filming so much good stuff. He put together a vlog that is yet to release, but we're doing one for every day that we're here, and the first one is amazing. People are gonna love it. Joey crushed it.
I like how
Joey
yesterday,
Redvest. I was wondering if you guys could see me down there.
Oh, you didn't see the picture we took?
Dude, I watched the entire interaction of you getting your Photog jersey from that woman and being like, Dave, Joey's got the Photog jersey.
Dude,
I watched you walk around to the baseline in one of those little squares, right baseline by the court, and I was like, look at Joey.
So focused.
They kept telling me, you don't have a red vest. I'm like, yeah, well, I don't have a red vest. And then somebody's like, you could just get a red vest. I'm like, I was so confused. It was confusing.
No, you did a great job.
I appreciate y'all. It was a lot of fun for me.
Yeah, you did a great job.
That was cool.
Absolutely.
I like the snap that you managed to take and that two of them chatting down there from up there. So Big Dave and I, we had good seats.
We did.
It was a great view, but because we were wrapping up our show here and then had to beeline it to the stadium, and we don't have credentials this year, we just had to find some seats in the stands, and we got there maybe 10, 15 minutes before tip-off. So we found a couple of seats way up high. It was a great view of the game.
It was right in the middle.
And that stadium, so there's Thomas and Mack Center, which is the main place where the UNLV Running Rebels play. It's a big stadium. That's where the main games take place. And then they have Cox Pavilion, which is in the same building, but it's
it looks like a high school gymnasium,
and it's a high school gym. So it's I think it fits 2,500 people. Really small. And so even sitting at the top row, you have incredible view.
Incredible views, and the noise, the energy level in that tight little arena is really cool.
Yeah, I like watching games there. Actually, when we got all the way to the top, right up to my right, met Mike Miller.
Okay.
Just sitting up there at the top.
Flex.
Like, hey, what's up, Mike?
I could have sworn either you or he, because I heard the exchange said, long night.
It was him, definitely.
Okay.
It wasn't me.
Because I asked you, and you're like, I didn't say that. I was like, Mike Miller looks like he had long night.
You should have asked him about Billy.
No, dang, I wasn't even thinking about that. You're right. I just told him I liked the way he played. I was like, I'm a Bulls player. I'm a Bulls fan. I was like, but I really liked your game, man. He was like, oh, respect. What's up? So he was cool, man. Shout out Mike Miller.
He was a killer in NBA Live 2003.
Oh, a beast.
Absolute killer.
Absolute beast, man. Because he was there for that next game. They were playing the Heat and the Celtics
and he just didn't
for
miss.
that next game. Yeah.
He just didn't miss.
Yeah, Bulls fans, if you haven't watched the episode of Mike Miller's pod where Billy Donovan and his guests talking about the old
UD.
days in Florida at UD, highly recommend. That is a side of Billy Donovan that does not come out often.
At all.
It's a fun watch.
Yeah.
All right, so let's dive into the action. The Bulls beat the Bucks. 96-89 is the final. The Bulls, never had a huge lead, but were in control most of the game. Bucks made a little bit of a push in the fourth quarter. I think got it down to a 1 or 2 possession game. But let's start with the guy that we're all here to see, most importantly, the Bulls' number 11 draft pick, Buzelis, who finished with a respectable 15 and 7 stat line, also had a couple of dimes, a couple of blocks. But everybody, and he himself, when you spoke to him after the game, Will, said, yeah, not my best night. Said he was sloppy, obviously only shot 4 of 15. The one thing he did do aggressively was get to the free throw line.
Yeah, he had probably the benefit of some friendly officiating, especially in the first quarter.
Gifted free throws.
I think he had 7 free throw attempts in the first quarter alone.
Wow.
And he did take 4 threes. He was 0-4, but you could tell when he caught the ball, he was trying to attack. He was trying to get downhill. There were a lot of plays where they ran him off of screens to get him an advantage getting to the rim, and he put pressure on the rim. So that's something that the Bulls are going to be missing now without DeMar DeRozan. And if he's somebody that can come in and, replicate some of that free throw, attempt stuff that they're going to miss out from not having DeRozan, that rim pressure to be able to create kickouts and three-point opportunities for his teammates, that was really impressive. And then, he had a bunch of drives where he kind of either pulled up and, shot like a fadeaway. He does this little Dirk fade. Or sometimes he just got cut off. But you could see him kind of processing the game. And I think it was a little bit sped up, but we talked to him after, and he was like, this is no different than the G League. I got to be better. I will be better. But you could just tell that, his ability to process the game. And actually, Billy Donovan III said this after the game, too. Given that he has played at a professional level, the terminology was all there for him. And so, the ability to pick stuff up, play quickly, learn this stuff quickly, I think that really benefited him. And obviously 4 for 15, 0 for 4 on threes, not a good shooting night. Right. But I think you live with the inefficiency because you like the shots that he was taking and the way that he was getting downhill.
Yeah, usually refs are going to reward you for being aggressive. And I'm not saying he's going to get that.
He gets the superstar calls here because he's
a
big name here.
Just about to say, he knows he's not going to get those calls in the NBA.
Exactly.
He definitely got those calls here for sure. But usually when you're being aggressive and, not trying to cheat it, when you're being aggressive, you can get rewarded. And he was definitely getting that. You're right. It was a couple of early ones that, they kind of just gave him a little bit. But I like the fact that he was able to get there because getting the free throw line slows the game down. We all see the benefits of it. We watch DeMar DeRozan. We know what it can do.
Yeah.
But I just like that he was confident in his game. He was missing those shots, but it didn't seem like it bothered him to the point where he was going to change up anything. He just continued to push. He continued to work.
Right.
The three-point shots, he continued to take them even after airball one. Yeah. He was like, no, I'm going to shoot this other one too. That's fine.
You love to see that confidence and that belief in himself. I do think he's going to become a better shooter. I think the first couple of years in the league, he's not going to be good. But he takes the shots. His form is good. I think the approach to shooting is good. Yeah. Definitely his priority is getting downhill.
Right.
But he's still drawing pump fakes and hard closeouts, and that helps him. So he has to keep shooting them. I think he'll get better. But to me, the thing that popped about his game was the ability to get downhill. I think he's got some stuff to work on. The strength, being able to absorb contact and finish through contact. Yeah. The ball handling, being able to get his way all the way to the rim without having to be cut off and pull up, having counter moves. So he's definitely raw. He's a project. But you see the tools. I mean, they're definitely there.
They're definitely there, man, for him. And you mentioned that ball handling. That was one of the things that kind of stood out for me. On the perimeter, he was able to, go back and forth between his legs behind his back and then make the move. Yeah. But like you said, you're going to need a secondary move once you kind of get there. Because once he would make that move and he would get there and they close it, then, he was like, okay. But he would still make something out of it. But, yeah, he's just got to get a secondary move with it. But it was nothing that I was like, oh, man, he can't play. No, that dude can play. Like you said, you see the talent, you saw the skills, you saw the ability, you saw a little bit of passing. He had one really cool pass for a layup that I remember that was really cool. But, yeah, he did well. I like what I saw, and I'm excited to watch it again today.
Yeah, the play that stood out to me was he was driving to the basket. He got cut off. He spun back like he was about to take a fadeaway, drew 2 defenders on him, and just dumped it down to Sanogo for the wide-open layup. Yep. And so you see him being able to draw 2 to the ball, being able to put pressure on the rim, create a distraction for the defense, and then find the open man. I think he's got if you put together all the skills that he has, that's a star player package. Yeah. You can dribble, you can pass, you can shoot, you can drive, you can defend. He had a couple of great blocks.
Yeah.
I just think the tools are all there. He's very far away. But if you squint, you can see the vision.
Yeah. Michael Gardner in the comments saying Matas has all-star potential if the shot develops. His handle at that size is unicorn-esque. Ooh, shout out for that word. The defensive ability to switch and block shots is also astounding. Yeah. I'm high on him. Hope he gets minutes. I also loved his activity on the defensive end in that game yesterday.
Yeah.
And, you're talking about on the offensive end, his ability to draw defensive pressure and then find ways to pass out of that. And you also talked about attacking those closeouts. Billy Donovan III talked about that after the game as well, that was an emphasis not just for Modest but for the entire squad coming into this, is like putting pressure in the paint, putting pressure at the rim, attacking, generating, and then attacking those closeout scenarios. And Modest did it well, but the reason the Bulls won the game yesterday, neither team shot well. The Bulls a little under 40%, Bucks just over 40%. Bucks hit 4 more threes than the Bulls.
Yeah.
The Bulls hit 27 free throws.
That's it.
Modest got to the line 11 times. Julian Phillips got there 9 times.
Yeah.
Sanogo had 5 of 6 from the free throw line. Javonte Smart, 6 of 7 from the free throw line off the bench. I think Billy Donovan said, Billy Donovan the third. Can we just say Billy Donovan while we're in Vegas? And
let's call him BD3, I feel like.
I'll call him Trey. Yeah. I'll call him Trey. That's young Trey.
He said the word that he's been using and preaching to these guys is assaulting the paint.
Yeah. Trey. Yeah, I like that. That's how you're supposed to have that mindset. And you're right. They took that to heart because that's exactly what they did. All of them, especially the guys on the wing and the point guard as well. Like, they were assaulting and going after it. I liked them. I wanted to see some transition. I saw a little bit of that as well. I was excited to see that, the Julian Phillips dunk. That was cool to see. Yeah, but Montes' game, he didn't look like he was clogging up anything. Like, he felt very fluid out there. Like, he wasn't just demanding, like, I got to get the ball and it stopped and slow down. No, everything was moving. Everything was going the right way. If he didn't have it, he was trying to find out who did and try to kick it out to them and get them the basketball and get them going. So it was very team-friendly, but he definitely knew when to get his, and like, no, this is my opportunity. Let me go ahead and see if I can put some points on the board here. And you're right, Matt. Defensively, I thought was better, than what it was offensively, at least as far as what I was looking for. I was just trying to see what kind of defensive player, because we know how he is helped defensively, but can he stay on his man on those kind of situations? And I thought he did a good job of that, but he definitely had a nice block, a really nice block. I love the way he would rebound, and kind of get it started, on that end. I just like watching his mind work while he was out there, man. Like, he's always thinking, he's trying to be ahead of the play.
A couple defensive possessions I saw from him where he was reading what was going on and made a couple of really heady plays from the weak side on defense.
Exactly.
In help defense scenarios. And with his length, there were a couple of times where, like, how the hell did Modest get his hand on that ball?
Yeah.
Whether it was a block, a strip, getting his hand in a passing lane. Yeah. Like, he has the awareness to be a really solid, switchable defensive player.
Yeah, I think he's got the right mentality, too. Like, that really stood out to me talking with him after the game, is like, they just won a game. He said, like, his goal was to win games, but you could tell he was, like, kind of down on himself for the way that he played. He said that he was sloppy and he needs to be better. He said he thinks he can be better. Just has to, like, continue to let the game come to him. See if I can find any of these quotes here. But, I think he just, like, he felt like the process was good, but ultimately he's got to let the game, come to him a little bit more, be more sharp with his decision-making, with the shots that he can take. And he just said, like, I've got high standards for myself. I think he just wants to be better. And so even though I thought the process was good, the shots that he was trying to get to were good, some of the passes that he made, the defense, I think he wants to be a lot better.
And he said, quote, I can be way better than that after the game. And I think Bulls fans should be encouraged by that and also believe it.
Yeah.
Because, we're talking about, okay, he had 15 and 7. He had some solid plays on the defensive end. Looked aggressive. You like that?
Yeah.
If instead of 4 of 15, he's 7 or 8 of 15 and knocks down 1 or 2 of his threes, not like Bulls fans will be jumping through their freaking roofs if we just watched Modest do that in his summer league debut.
At the same time, he could have been 4 of 18 if he didn't get a couple of those calls. So he does really need to work on the efficiency. But again, I'm especially in summer league, and as you're a young rebuilding team, I'm way less concerned with whether or not the ball goes in as I am with what kind of shots are you getting to on the court. And so that process, that has to be the primary focus.
I completely agree with you, man. Like, it's got to be right, what I'm saying, when he's out there. And that's going to be the key, because those shots are going to fall, So we're looking at things like his form, like even the three-point shots. Like, that's why I don't even recall him so much, because I didn't care. I was like, he took the shot. All right, here, about all right, next one. I think one of them got blocked as well. That's what led to the second air ball. So it's just the fact that he's being aggressive and taking them and knowing when to take them and not forcing anything, man. Yeah. That's the stuff I'm looking at.
And in between each of those 4 missed threes, you were seeing him get to the free throw line and make some really cool creative passes. Like he was doing some solid things even though his shot wasn't falling.
Yeah, he was out there for sure.
Still plenty ahead on CHGO Bulls live here from Circa Resort and Casino in Las Vegas, covering this NBA Summer League action. Bulls have another game on deck tonight against the Warriors. We'll touch on that. Also still got to get our thoughts on Julian Phillips, his second season with the Summer League Bulls, Adama Sanogo, and touch on a little bit of a health update from Sir Patrick Williams, fresh off his newly signed contract in free agency. Hit that like button if you're hanging out with us on YouTube. Appreciate you. What's up, Matty Legend, Jason, Scocks, Daniel Barry, Strick. What's going on, buddy? What's up, Montana Shy? Appreciate all y'all hanging out with us on a Sunday. What time is it in Chicago? 1:30-ish? Something like that? Yeah. Whatever you're doing, wherever you are, whatever time it is.
Yeah.
Thanks for hanging out with us.
Shout out.
But first, want to shout out our friends at Indeed. We're driven by the search for better. But when it comes to hiring, the best ways to search for a candidate isn't to search at all. Don't search, match, and match with Indeed. If you need to hire, you need Indeed. It's as simple as that. Indeed is your hiring and matching platform with over 350 million global monthly visitors, according to Indeed data, and a matching engine that helps you find quality candidates fast. Ditch the busy work because we all hate busy work. I don't like it. Use Indeed for scheduling, screening, and messaging so you can connect with your candidates faster. And Indeed doesn't just help you with the speed of hiring. 93% of employers agree Indeed delivers the highest quality matches compared to other job sites, according to a recent Indeed survey. So, if you need to hire for your company, if you look for someone to join your team, maybe it's Billy Donovan III, maybe it's somebody else, I don't know. You got to check out Indeed. Listeners of this show will get a $75 sponsored job credit to get your jobs and more visibility at Indeed.com/AllCity. Just go to Indeed.com/AllCity right now. Support our show by saying you heard about Indeed on CHGO Bulls. Indeed.com/AllCity. That's ALLCITY. Terms and conditions apply. Need to hire? You need Indeed.
Indeed.
Terms apply.
Well done.
Great.
My man, Ray Chevrolet. Ray Chevy, y'all. Choose Ray Chevrolet as your first draft pick and find the right new Chevy and price just for you. Visit our partner this July to shop the Freedom to Save sales event going on all month long at their location on Route 12 in Fox Lake or at raychevrolet.com. As one of the top-selling Chevy dealers in Midwest, you will always be able to shop one of Chicagoland's largest inventories. Plus, find the perfect tailgate vehicle right now. Get $12,000 off MSRP on a new 2024 Chevy Silverado. Or lease the new 2024 Chevy Trax for only $188 a month for 24 months. That is a deal. Or cruise into July your own way and shop over 125 of their vehicles priced under $20,000. And, of course, if you heard of Ray Chevrolet, then you know about the Ray Price Promise, y'all. They're guaranteed to make your next vehicle more affordable than ever with no price changing, no add-ons, and no hidden fees ever. That means the incredible prices that we're talking about right now, you can expect to see the very same prices when you shop Ray Chevrolet in-store or online. So shop the Freedom to Save sales event all month long by visiting Ray Chevrolet in Fox Lake or raychevrolet.com. They've been serving the community since 1963. Together, let's try. One, this way, the finger. Either way, so many ways to try. Either way.
Oh, my goodness. Bulls Summer League talk rolls along here on CHGO Bulls. Thanks for hanging out with us, y'all. So let's talk next about Julian Phillips.
Okay.
17 points on 5 of 11, knocked down one of his 3 three-point attempts, also 6 of 9 from the free throw line. He told you after the game, Will, I liked that I got to the line today. I know I need to knock down more of them. He also pulled off a double-double with 10 boards, 4 of them offensive. He and Sanogo both did work on the offensive glass. You love to see that. And, you know, as far as what we saw from Julian, his rookie year, as somebody getting spot minutes, a guy who could maybe, you know, take a corner three confidently, make those backdoor cuts, make some plays above the rim, do some work on the boards. But we were talking on yesterday's show about, okay, what else can he show us this time around, especially against Summer League competition? And Will, you were saying, can we see more on-ball creation from Julian Phillips? I did think we saw a handful of times where he got the ball somewhere around the top of the key and just like sized up his man and decided to kind of create some action one-on-one. His handles, I think, look a little bit better than the last time we watched him play. What did you make of his game?
Yeah, that's really the main thing I was looking for with him, and I felt like similar to Modest, a lot of what he was doing in terms of getting downhill was coming off of closeouts or coming off of screens and getting the ball on the move, which I think is really important for some of these young guys who still have a lot of room to grow with their ball handling. True. So I liked him being aggressive. I liked him getting downhill. He was assaulting the paint too. I mean, he was just trying to get down as much as possible. He had 10 rebounds. He was attacking the glass. He was trying to get putback dunks. He was, I mean, the last play of the game, he said,
he tried.
I was going for it. I got to get that
I was going to have a heart attack if he converted that.
Dude.
But so you just like to see him continue to be aggressive. And, the other thing is, he's a young rookie last year, but he's the vet on this team now with the Summer League. And so he was talking about kind of how his leadership has to improve with this group and kind of help some of these other younger players come along a little bit. So, but I think it's like, again, without DeRozan on this team next year, the Bulls have to be creative in terms of finding ways to get pressure on the rim because they still profile to be a poor three-point shooting team.
Yes.
You lose DeMar DeRozan, who's obviously not a three-point shooter. He can do it, but when you've got the ball in his hands a lot, he's not doing the James Harden step-back three thing. So automatically, your three-point attempt rate is going to be lower than it would be if you were on a team like Luka Doncic, where he's taking a ton of threes per game. You replace that with Giddey, so you're not improving in that way either. Obviously, Kobe can shoot it, Zach can shoot it, Vooch can shoot it, but they need people to create offense in order to get those threes. The way you do that is by assaulting the paint, getting downhill, forcing help to come, and then spraying it out. And so when you get those guys on the move, coming off of pin downs, coming off of screens, to where you can get them the ball going downhill with the advantage, that's when the help has to slide over, and it doesn't put the burden on Julian Phillips or Montes Buzelis to break somebody down off the dribble. And so using those screens is a really valuable tool. I expect to see a lot more of that even at the NBA level next year. But that's what we saw, I think, from Julian and his ability to get downhill. He finished through contact. Definitely needs to continue to improve his ball handling, but I just slowly but surely, I think we're seeing him expand his game a little bit, and that's what you want to see with your young players, especially in Summer League.
Yeah, I thought he got more comfortable as the game kind of went on. Especially in that second half, I thought he was much more comfortable in the game because it felt like in the first half he was just trying to see.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just kind of trying to think, which is fine, in Summer League. I don't have a problem with that. But it seemed like he just – and I don't want to say reverted back to like it's a bad thing, but he went to what he does best. You know what I mean? I'm going to get these rebounds. I'm going to start this outlet. I'm going to run the floor. I'm going to get these dunks in transition. And I'm going to try to be a havoc on the defensive end and help my guys out that way, which was great to see. So it's good to see that he knows exactly where his strengths kind of lie. That's great. And it was cool to see him trying to work on some stuff as well. We saw him, take a three and all that. So I was okay with this game. I was surprised, and I said it to you when I looked up and he had 17. Like, I was like, really? When did that go down? Like, because I saw all the rebounds happen and everything like that. But somebody's converting them, you know what I'm saying, when he's getting those boards back. So I liked his game because he really looked like a true wing out there. He really reminded me of Derrick Jones Jr.
Yeah.
With how he ran the floor and how he did certain things out there today.
And you also saw, I think, the game slowed down for him. So many times last year, he was just like this water bug, like jittering around the court. The game was just moving so fast. And I feel like he looked a lot more comfortable understanding where to be on the court, what to do when the ball came to him, where to be on the defensive side. Like, when you get into the league and you're a second-round pick and you're a raw athlete who's very much a project, like, it can take a long time for the game to slow down for you, and especially when you're not playing a ton of minutes. Every time it's like just he was really jittery. And and not like saying he was like nervous or anything, he was bouncing around the floor, like trying to understand and absorb all this information
energy
as it was happening, and it was just moving really fast. And so I think we got to see that slow down for him a little bit. Again, that's exactly what you want to see for a young player as he gets more experience. Just the game slowing down, understanding where to be, understanding where to move the ball to next. This the next assignment. Keep it moving. Keep the wheel of the offense moving so that you can make the next good play.
Absolutely.
Hey, Julia. People in the comments chiming in about Julian's game. Jorge saying, Julian, mighty Phillips. Optimistic Bulls fan saying, Julian didn't force anything, and he was handling more. Rob saying, Julian and Modest attacking the rim like Kobe and Io more often is going to be key in games when the shots aren't falling, and they definitely understand that. I liked what I saw from Julian yesterday. I cannot wait to watch him again tonight. I want to see him put the ball on the floor some more. with his athletic ability, and we saw he didn't convert that what would have blown the roof off the place, dunk in the final seconds of that game yesterday. But even a couple of the rebounds he skied for, I was reminded of the fact that Julian Phillips had the best vertical at the NBA Combine 2 years ago.
43 inches.
My God, he can jump. If he adds some more tight ball handling and one-on-one attacking ability to that athleticism, and can be a spot-up shooter, I mean, that right there is why I'm so high on this guy.
Got yourself a Stu Glenn.
All he needs to do at the NBA level is just catch the ball from the corner and attack closeouts or shoot the three.
Yeah,
exactly. And if you can tighten up the ball handling to where you can reliably get all the way to the rim. We saw him go up and try to absorb contact. We saw him finish through that. That's the archetype of a really valuable role player. And who knows, maybe you can expand that even more. But for now, I just think you really have to like what you're seeing from him in the way that he's progressed from last year to this year.
And I also liked what he said during the, because you talked about him trying to take on more of a leadership role. I like what he said when they were asking about Montes and, how he kind of talks on the floor. Mm-hmm. He was like, no, I love it. He was like, but the point of it is basically we're supposed to have his back. You know what I mean? We're supposed to back him up on that. So that's the goal of this. And I'm like, yes, absolutely right. Have your teammates back. Let him talk all the stuff he want to, but make sure that he's right. You know what I mean, when he's doing it. So, I appreciated that.
All right, so let's chat Sanogo for a second. Bulls fans may have been surprised yesterday when we saw Garrison Brooks in the starting lineup at center instead of Adama Sanogo. Even the Bulls game notes that they sent to us a few hours before tip-off said potential starters, and Sanogo was listed.
Right.
Instead, BD3 goes with Garrison Brooks, the product. He played at UNC, I think 3 or 4 years, had a 5th year at Mississippi State, played professionally over in Lithuania this past year. Sanogo comes off the bench and says, here's your double-double, 17 and 12. By the way,
double-double Dama.
7 of those 12 rebounds, offensive glass. Also had 3 steals. Yeah. And I was telling you at some point towards the back half of that game, Dave, for a guy who looks like he would be lumbering, a lot of Bulls fans maybe use that word to describe a certain starting center the Bulls have right now. Sure. What's up, Booch? He somehow is always active. Yeah. Whenever there was something going on in the paint, or even he got switched out to the perimeter a couple of times on defense and held his own out there. And it's just that dude's motor is so higher than what it looks like. Yeah. It would be for a dude his size.
Yeah, man, he's awesome. Like you said, double Adonis, man. He was awesome to watch. I thought it was points in the game that he was the best player on the floor. And I thought he would have easily had a 20-20 if he had started, honestly. He was that kind of dominant down there in the paint. And seeing him do it against a player that's taller than him as well. You know what I mean? It didn't matter to him. He has watching him live, and I said this to Matt, I was like, you can tell really good rebounders, because they know where the ball is going when it's coming off the rim.
The Rodman gene.
The Rodman gene, yes.
Shout out Worm.
All this and that.
That way. Boom,
right. That way outside. Boom, boom, pew, pew. It was like that watching him because he's not the tallest person out there. And I'm like, well, how's he snatching down everything? I mean, everything that came his way in his vicinity, he either got it or he touched it. He had one play where Stacey would have loved it because it was a 50-50 ball. And he turned it and he tapped it, and it happened to be a tap out. It got back to Montes, and Montes was able to score. That was all on him doing that, man. And he did it with 2 bucks on him. You know what I mean? So he still created that possession for the Bulls, that extra possession for the Bulls, man. And then just the 17 points, I just love it so much because, like you said, it's offensive rebounding, so he's going to get those lay-ins. Right. But he's always around the rim. But like you said, he's at the perimeter too, but he's always around the rim, dog. It is so impressive to watch that up close. I got more respect for him sitting there watching this game. I was like, I don't see how he doesn't have on the Bulls uniform, bro. I don't see what else you need right now. He is a perfect off the bench kind of player for me.
Yeah, I thought, for the rebounding, he's as you guys said, he's not the tallest, but he's obviously a massive guy. Yeah. And he gets really good leverage. So he's able to move people out of the way in order, like you're saying, he knows where to be, and then he can get there and establish position, knock guys out of the way, and then go up and get the rebound. His touch is really impressive. He's able to catch passes, really soft touch, putting stuff back. Offensive rebounding was outstanding. And then they were trying to pull him out to the perimeter and make him guard in space. And, he's not going to be great at that, but he was staying in front of guys. He was contesting shots, and that was taking him away from the rim, and yet he was still able to get back in defensive rebounds. So I thought he was great. I want to continue to see him improve. in terms of navigating in space, in terms of understanding help assignments, where to be, how to step forward, get to the nail, and things like that. So he's still got a lot of work to improve, but I was a little surprised they went with Brooks to start the game, but he was a little bit more of a shooter. I think they wanted to space the floor a little bit. We can ask BD3 about that later tonight before the game.
Hit his first shot, too.
Hit his first shot, and I think that just spaces out the floor a little bit better, because when you have Modest, who's obviously not a great shooter, when you have Julian Phillips, who can be shaky at times, Drell did not really impact the game in the way that you wanted. DJ Stewart only took 2 threes, did not make either of them. So it's hard to also have a big center down there clogging up the paint. So I think that's my guess for why they went with Brooks over Sanogo to start the game, but obviously Sanogo 25 minutes compared to Brooks 15. And you have to like what you see production-wise. It's more about execution. Can you still continue to improve in the scheme defensively?
Shout out to our buddy Connor, who I see in the chat. What's up, Connor? Saying Sanogo's ability to just absorb everything that comes his way is honestly impressive. Yeah, that's kind of what I was saying. He looks smooth defensively as well. Definitely looks like a serviceable NBA big if he can find a role. AJ Katz, meanwhile, in the comments saying, Sanogo and Funk not starting reminded me of what GOAT said during your Summer League preview episode. Bulls need to do a better job managing these two-way contracts. Funk and Drell are not NBA dudes. Go get some young athletes. Rob in the comments, meanwhile, saying, I don't mind Sanogo putting the ball up near the rim, but in the future he'll have to learn to give it up if he doesn't have the advantage after an offensive rebound. Rob, I respectfully disagree. Maybe it's my old head 90s basketball brain. But if you are a big who manages to get an offensive board and you are under the rim, you go up.
Because the plays aren't being drawn for you.
If you have a 40% three-point shooter teammate who's wide open in the corner and you can get the pass, okay, fine. But that is exceptions apply, terms apply. Otherwise, 99% of the time, if you're a big, you get the offensive rebound, go back up. Put it in, get fouled.
Especially
go to the free throw line.
Especially when you know you're one with some touch around the rim. And when you can go up and you can score with it. Because Rahman would get it and he would kind of kick it back out. He wasn't great around the rim like that. But he knew when to put it back up, So, the IQ of him is going to be just fine. But, I was impressed. I was impressed watching it live.
Still plenty more ahead on CHGO Bulls here. We are live from Circa Resort and Casino in Las Vegas. Hey, our buddy RG!
RG.
It's our Parisian friend, y'all!
What up, son?
I do want to touch on the game that Javonte Smart had, because he looked pretty solid off the bench as well. We got to talk about Patrick Williams, chatting with y'all yesterday during that game. Update on his injury status and rehab. Also, I had some thoughts on what the Bulls have been doing this offseason and some of these Summer League squad guys. So we'll touch on that, and of course also look ahead to tonight's game. Bulls-Warriors, 7 p.m. local time tip-off, 9 p.m. Central. That's all still ahead on CHGO Bulls. But meanwhile, Big Dave, tell the people what they should be drinking.
Beer. Yeah. And the beer you should be drinking is Coors Light.
I need one right now.
They have been fueling this young man over here.
It's 11:30 a.m. We are in Las Vegas, day 3. I need a Coors Light stat.
Oh, you will have it soon, sir.
Who's got a Coors Light? I need one.
He's going to get it. Don't you worry about that. Because between work, social media, and the choices life throws our way, it's no wonder we're more worked up. Coors Light celebrates rising above and choosing a chill mindset. Why not turn that rained-out barbecue into the Will, the Goat, Gottlieb, and Matt Peck first annual and only, because Matt won't let anybody else in, karaoke house party. As soon as they walk in, man, get out.
It's a tight list.
Or after a tough loss, settle scores with the ice cold peace offering. Make the choice to choose chill, then reach for a cold Coors Light, because when the mountains turn blue, you know what to do. Because Coors Light is cold lager, cold filtered, and cold packaged for a smoother finish. So embrace that chill mindset and choose Coors Light, because it's crisp and refreshing as the Colorado Hurricanes. Now make the most out of your time to choose chill and choose Coors Light. Get it delivered straight to your door via Instacart by going to CoorsLight.com/CHGO basketball. Celebrate responsibly. Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado.
As I was listening to you talk about Coors Light, my mouth got so dry.
I
don't know if it's that Vegas heat, that dry heat.
It's that Coors.
I'm ready for one. After we wrap up our show, you know what we got on deck at noon here at the beautiful Circa Resort and Casino?
Tell me.
Euro final. Spain versus England.
Is that why people pulling up in their jerseys?
Oh, you know.
I see it.
I see somebody rocking an Argentina jersey over there. We also have the Copa America final, 5 o'clock Vegas time, between Argentina and Colombia.
All right.
I'm going to be watching some soccer today.
Which game is more important?
To who?
To you.
To me? As a soccer fan, I'm excited to watch both. I hope and am expecting Argentina, Colombia to be an absolute batshit crazy game. Okay. Those two teams are like bloodthirsty rivals. It's going to get wild. It's going to get physical. You got the Messi factor. He's aging, but he still has the magic touch.
Messi, yeah.
And honestly, like Spain, England, I'm hoping for some fireworks. I thought all of England's path through the Euros was boring as hell. England has always played a boring brand of soccer, in my opinion. Spain is very methodical, and they just wait for their opportunities to strike and otherwise play very defensive-minded soccer. It's tiki-taka when they can. So I'm more excited for Argentina, Colombia than I am for Spain, England, even though Euro as a tournament is looked upon much more highly than Copa America.
So your prediction?
You know what? Give me Colombia to upset Argentina, and give me Spain 1-0 over England.
Ooh. And where you going to be watching this at, Matt?
Right here at Circa Resort and Casino.
Go.
I'm staring out at a giant 4-story TV screen.
Yeah.
We got some MLB on right now. We got we got some sports talk shows.
It actually is 4 stories.
It is 4 stories.
That's wild.
There were a couple of fights on yesterday that I was watching here with our DMVR buddies. You guys got to stay at Circa the next time you come to Vegas. It is the first ever Las Vegas adults-only casino and resort. All you got to do is show them your ID when you walk through those front doors, and you will never be asked for your ID again once you are inside.
It's glorious.
I don't know why every casino in Vegas does not operate this way. Circa figured it out. That's the way to do it. They also have this right here where we're hanging out, the world's largest sports book. 3-story stadium style. Oh, I'm sorry. I said 4. It looks like 4.
It does.
3 is still impressive.
That's still very impressive.
It takes 10 people to operate this 78 million pixel screen.
Wow.
24/7, 365, this thing is running. Also some food from the delicious Victory Bar and Wings, Victory Burger and Wings, where we had dinner last night, actually. Shout out to them.
Shout out.
You got to check out the Legacy Club up all the way at the top, 360-degree views, the Strip, the mountains.
Go
it's
Bars,
beautiful. Baby. My goodness. And then, of course, the Stadium Swim.
Yes.
Where we will be doing our shows tomorrow and Tuesday from one of those cabanas. Joey and I hung out there for a while on Friday when we arrived. Hot. But my God.
But fun.
That Stadium Swim also has a 143 by 40 foot LED screen. Screens on screens, sports on sports, sports books on sports books. Y'all got to check it out. The next time you come to Vegas, this is where you want your home base to be. It's been our home base for 2 years running now.
Yeah, it's amazing, man.
We love it.
I can't say enough about it.
Hopefully many more to come.
Hopefully many, many more until
more.
the sun burns up or Summer League stops existing.
And that ain't happening.
Who knows which one happens first? Maybe the sun burning up. or the world might end tomorrow. Yesterday was weird, huh? Let's not talk about that. Let's talk about Javonte Smart. The 17 points off the bench for him. Knocked down 3 of his 6 three-point attempts. Really the only guy on wearing a Bulls jersey who had an okay day behind the arc yesterday. Also got to the free throw line 6 of 7. Went undrafted after playing at LSU, has spent time in and out of developmental G League kind of contracts and situations, 10 days. He's been with the Bucks, he's been with the Heat, he's been with Philly. Last season, with Philly's G League team, the Delaware whatevers, Bluecoats, I think, he averaged 21, 5.5 assists, and 4 boards.
Okay.
Get this. You know his shooting splits on 21 per game?
Tell me.
On like a full season with the Sixers G League?
Hit me.
47, 42.5, 97.
Damn. That 97 is damn.
Yeah.
That's Matty Legend.
And I was like, I did not know a whole lot about Javonte Smart when we sat down to watch that game yesterday, and I was like, dude, who is this dude balling off the Bulls bench?
You know what? He did what I talked about, why I like Summer League so much. You can't, because we already know who we come to see, the draft picks, maybe the second-year guys getting their thing in. But there's always room for other guys to steal the show and get themselves known and seen. And that's what you want. And it was just fun to sit and watch a guy like that shine, because even the people I was sitting next to, the young lady, she was like, oh, no, that's y'all shooter right there. That dude can shoot. Because it was just bucket after bucket after bucket.
Yeah.
There's always room for you on a roster if you're a three-point shooter. You know what I mean? Like, there will be room for you like that, but he can shoot.
Does this mean 6 Javontes?
I don't know,
we'll
man.
See. I don't know that Javonte Green is going to be back next year. The Bulls already have 15 under roster.
Yeah.
They can non-guarantee bid him and maybe bring somebody else back in. But, I thought, it's good to have more veteran players to help your younger players, right?
Sure.
And we're going to see that later tonight. Brandon Pajemski Trace Jackson-Davis. Kevin Knox is playing, who was like a 2017
When I saw that,
Knox,
when I checked down their game from last night, I was like, wait, that like number 9 pick, Kevin Knox?
Yeah, Kevin Knox, bro. Absolutely.
So, I think it just helps set up some of the younger guys, especially, we're seeing this with the guards. It's like Domask, it's DJ Stewart, it's Javonte Smart. And so I think the Bulls put a priority on bringing guards that can help those guys be better by putting pressure on the rim, by drawing, defense away from the basket as a three-point shooting threat. And he did both of those things. Like 6 of 7 from the free throw line, 3 assists, 4 of 10 inside the arc, 3 of 6 beyond the arc. So I think that just helps some of the other players on the team be the best versions of themselves because he can attract some of that attention that they're maybe not able to do off the dribble.
He didn't feel like a one-trick pony kind of person. You know what I mean? Like, feel like there's definitely multifaceted things to his game that can be explored. And I use that because you know how we loved Batum, you know what I mean? It's so much because I was like, no, he can shoot. You know what I mean? Like, what can you do beyond that? I mean, he can shoot. You just want shooters on your team. But with him, feels like he just knows the game out there. You know what I mean? Like, it was very smooth. Like, it was nothing just, chunky or clunky or with him, man. Like, it was smooth and it was easy. And he was clutch with it, too, when he was hitting his shots, man. Like, I was really impressed. I was really impressed by what I saw.
Darren Karras in the comments saying Modest is the anti-Patrick Williams, super aggressive and enthusiastic. So let's talk about Pat for a second.
Sure.
Mr. Unenthusiastic, according to Darren in the comments. You were able to chat with Patrick at some point during yesterday's game, and actually speaking of Pat and Matis, they had a funny little exchange that Joey caught. Had like little mini halftime re-warm-ups.
Joey Red
Matis was dancing around to whatever beat was playing. Patrick came up to him, said what's up. But so Pat off of
it was Getting Jiggy With It by Will Smith.
It was Getting Jiggy With It?
I believe so. Sorry.
Respect
Sorry to interrupt.
that is before his time. Joey, did you know the song Getting Jiggy With It?
Yeah, I just noticed. If I didn't know it,
maybe someone told you that's what the song was.
If I didn't know it, I wouldn't have pointed it out. So yes, I know.
Okay.
That's a flex.
I think he was still a twinkle in George Senior's eye when Getting Jiggy With It came out.
When George was getting jiggy?
For real.
So George was getting jiggy.
I mean, like, that was like mid, maybe early, late, like mid-late 90s, Getting Jiggy When It came out?
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Hold on.
Probably late.
I need to know.
Was Joey around when people were getting jiggy with it?
This is why y'all tune into our Bulls coverage, right?
Was Joey around,
Getting Jiggy With It was released in 97.
97.
Twinkle in his dad's eye.
Twinkling.
Nah. Okay.
Joey was rocking to it.
Back to Patrick Williams.
Yes.
You spoke to him yesterday, Will. What can you tell us about what he had to say regarding his timeline of his season-ending injury?
Yeah, so basically he's just spent the last 4.5 months now recovering from the foot surgery. He said in the beginning, they told me 4 to 6 months. I believe we're at 4.5 going on 5. The bone's fully healed, but the rehab process is pretty much just resting, making sure that I'm getting enough rest on that foot, going over some pattern things, how you run, how you walk, some preventative things. But for the most part, it's just been letting the bone rest, letting the body do what it does. But he said when asked if he would be ready for a training camp, for sure. He was very confident in that one. So very definitive. So, it's been a long recovery. I mean, we haven't talked to him since the first week of April when he had the surgery. So we haven't, talked to him about the new contract, about the direction of the team, about the rehab itself. So it was great to catch up with Pat. And, it's a little concerning, I guess, that this is still ongoing. But it does seem to be within kind of like the original timeline on the early side. So hopefully he continues to get better more quickly and can be ready for training camp as he said he would be.
Yeah, that stuff's good to hear. He said 2 things that was all I wanted to hear was bone fully healed. I'll be ready for training camp. That's it. That's between all the muck and mire, everything else is great. You know what I mean? I appreciate all he said, but that's kind of how my brain is. Like, I just need to hear this and I need to hear that. It was like yesterday when we were gambling and I hadn't played roulette in a second. You know what I mean? And Matt is telling me the things to do and all that. And, Matt is very thorough. And he's breaking. He's like, nope, put it here, you go to here. And I said, Matt, stop.
Say less.
Stop talking. Just tell, there's 15 going on the outside. Yes. Thank you. That's all we need to hear. You know what I mean? So I appreciated all that, but I just needed to hear what it was. And hearing that from Patrick just made me feel like, yes, good. Because when it comes to injuries, we know the Bulls' history with injuries. So, and guys being ready for training camp. And so it's good to hear him say, I'm right within it. Everything's healed up. Training camp, yes, I'll be in there, and I'll be ready to play. I'm excited to hear those things, man.
So Pat also, talked about some, non-injury related things in your conversation, Will, including the fact that, this is a different looking team than the one that he last played with before his injury. Obviously the Caruso for Giddey trade, DeMar DeRozan sign and trade to the Kings. He spoke on that a little bit. What did you sense was his feeling about this somewhat new direction that maybe still might not be all the way yet defined with Zach LaVine and Vooch still being here?
Yeah, okay, so the one thing that really stood out to me with this interview was Pat's, confidence. And you could just tell, they paid him. They moved on from their two best players last year. And I think all the younger players, I talked with Kobe a little bit yesterday too, they all kind of recognize, this is a new opportunity for us to, be the guys on this team now. And like you said, there's still roster moves to be made. We don't know what's going to happen with Zach and Vooch. Eventually, though, I think that you can safely say, this team is going to be built around Giddey, Patrick, Kobe, Ayo, and Buzelis. And that's a nice young core, but Patrick is, in year 5 now. He's a veteran. Yeah. Kobe is in year 6 or 7, so he is in that same boat. And you could just tell the confidence was there. But, he also was talking about DeMar a little bit, and he had a great quote here. That I'll just read real quick. I asked him if how much he's gotten a chance to talk with DeMar since he left the Bulls and joined the Kings. He said, all the time, that's a relationship that goes beyond basketball. Blessed to be able to have played with him for the time that I did. The things I learned from him, the things I took from him, he knows I'm going to use those in this upcoming year and the rest of my career and the rest of my life. That's a brother for life. And then I asked him.
I'm glad I'm wearing my shady rays because it's getting a little dusty in here. Oh, Patrick.
What? Yo.
Dagger to the heart.
Yo.
They were super close. They really were. And that's a testament to DeMar's ability to connect with and help develop the younger players on this roster. And I wrote this in my article after the trade went down. And I said, if there is ever any level of success with this next group, whether it be Kobe, Dalen, Ayo, Julian Phillips, Kobe, any of these guys, it will have been a result of the leadership and the skills that DeMar helped them develop. So I really think he's going to be just, when you look at, how this thing turns out in the next 5 years, DeMar will have had an influence on how these guys develop. And then, he's also loves to joke around about DeMar and make fun of him and stuff. So I was and I assume you're going to be giving him some problems when they come back to Chicago next. He's he already knows it. He already knows it.
Let me ask you this. Because Patrick has always been a confident person when he's speaking. Remember, he's talked about, I know I can be an all-star in this league. I remember him saying, I knew I could be an all-star, but now I think I can be all-NBA. This is year 2 and year 3 of him saying, when he was saying those things. So knowing that he already speaks with confidence, what was different to you about the way that he spoke with confidence this time?
We asked him what this new contract says about how the Bulls view him as a core piece, and he's they believe in me, I believe in them. Let's get ready to work. And so it's just it's just no nonsense stuff now. I think with the contract kind of hanging over his head last year, with the injury, obviously, he just wasn't able to really get out there and prove it in the way that he wants. And so I don't think the Bulls would have committed $90 million to a guy who they weren't sure was going to be healthy and able to come back and play next year. And I certainly don't think they give him a 5-year contract unless they're confident that he is a part of the future, the next 5 years. Right. So I think he understands that. He knows that there's this opportunity here with DeMar and Alex gone, and I think he's just so confident in himself, and he believes that there's so much more in his game than what he's been able to show, and I think there's some of that too, so I'm really excited to see that. And also just I really love talking with Pat. I think he's a really good dude, and it's just nice to see him looking and feeling more confident in his standing with the team. Because the last few years it's been he was the 5th option at best. True. And now I think he understands there's a little bit more room for me to grow now, and that's exciting to him.
All right, so with our remaining time, let's shift our focus to tonight's game, Game 2 for the Bulls against the Golden State Warriors. And if you're hanging out with us, by the way, thank you. Hit that like button. Do it for Troll Joe, who got left home and couldn't be in Vegas. He needs the thumbs. If he can't be in Vegas with us, he needs the thumbs.
It's not even. It's too hot for him.
It's too hot for him here.
Yeah. He's
He likes cool.
In a cave, yeah. He lives in a cave, cove, under a bridge.
Exactly.
Right, exactly.
Man.
So the Warriors Summer League squad got a win last night over the Suns, 90-73, fairly convincing. A guy who obviously has already carved out a significant role for the actual Warriors, Brandon Podziemski, put up 16 points, 3 of 6 from downtown, also had 7 boards, 6 assists. Trace Jackson-Davis, who you also mentioned, GOAT, had a decent game, 10 and 7. Daquan Plowden, 19 points, 8 of 12, 3 of 4. When you're talking about Summer League being where teams go to watch their young guys who they just added to the squad, or fans go to watch the new guys that added to their team squad, Quentin Post is the name that I think Warriors fans were hoping they would see.
Okay.
He was their 52nd overall pick after some weird trade stuff that happened on draft night.
Okay.
The legit 7-foot center from Boston College, who wasn't named initially to the Summer League roster because the trade was not yet finalized from draft night, also dealing with a minor leg injury. He was with the team when they played that California Classic game, whatever, earlier this past week.
Okay.
But no sign of him yesterday. I was scanning Twitter earlier this morning, still no updates on whether or not he has been added to the roster and might play at some point, because there was a report from NBC Sports Bay Area that said, we're hopeful that he'll be able to get some run at Summer League. But because I wanted to watch that dude play, because he's a legit 7-footer who spaces the floor, and my God, his footwork down low.
Nice.
I watched some of his Boston College tape the other day.
It's nice.
Damn,
Like
he's
that?
nice. But
Okay.
and then weirdly, Kevin Knox the second, 9th overall pick by the Knicks back in 2018.
Still working.
Got 9 and 7 off the bench for the Summer League Warriors yesterday. Who are you looking at as far as interesting matchups for Bulls Warriors tonight?
Brandon Podziemski, I'm a huge fan of his, and Trace Jackson-Davis. Those are the guys. And by the way, here's my moment of complaining about Dalen Terry not being on the roster for the day.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Dalen Terry, a career, 895 minutes played in his first 2 seasons combined. 895 minutes. Trace Jackson-Davis, last year, rookie, 52nd overall pick, I want to say. 1,130 minutes played, and he's out there. Brandon Podziemski, 18th overall pick from last year, second year going into the league. 1,968 minutes. That's over 1,000 more minutes played than Dalen has played in his first 2 years combined, and he's out there. He's, by the way, he's been named the starting 2-guard for the Golden State Warriors next year, and he's out there. So this argument that Dalen's in his 3rd year, he should be playing, there are plenty of 3rd-year players playing this. There's plenty of more experienced NBA players playing this, and I really wish Dalen could have been playing. But I am excited to watch those 2 guys because I think they're really good. And Brandon Podziemski, in particular, is somebody who I'm really excited about. He is a great ball handler, great rebounder for his size, can push the ball, great defensive player. He's just an ultimate do-it-all. He's smaller, but just a utility guard. And I think he's going to be a really good player in this league.
Okay. I'll be watching. I'm be interested.
You hear that, Darnell?
I'm with
Dalen
you, Darnell.
Terry should be playing.
I'm with you, Darnell. Don't worry. I'm with you. Sir.
Did you read that?
Oh, yeah,
from
I saw
Darnell
it.
the other day?
I saw his tweet.
He's like, I don't think Dalen needs to be playing.
No, me and Go to this debate.
We got into it, too.
Oh, y'all got into it, too? Oh, I want in on this.
So, do the Bulls go 2-0 after this action tonight?
I don't think
Summer
so.
League championship? I saw somebody in the comments earlier joking about it. Still on the table. Because the Bulls are 1-0, and it's whatever. It's they play in the pools or whatever, and then they get to the playoff stage based on their record through the first 4 games.
Yeah. I don't think they pull this one out. I mean, you have legitimate NBA players. You know what I'm saying? Playing in this one.
Yeah.
With the Golden State.
I feel like they're about to get cooked by
I feel like they're about to take an L on this one. But again, it's not about that for me. I'm just sitting over here. Just want to see what happens as far as Modest is concerned, how he takes this personally, that he says he didn't play great or anything like that. So I want to see how he comes out on this one. And I don't want him to force anything. I just want to see his mental makeup and how he plays and comes out.
Right.
Sanogo will probably still be on his same thing. You know what I mean? And Julian Phillips also, just to see how he plays. And Smart as well. And Damask, I thought, played solid also. He did all the little things, that you need a little guard to kind of do. He did all those tiny things that I liked. So I would like to see him get some more time, too.
Warriors are 4.5-point favorites, I believe. So I think that's what we here in Vegas are saying about it. But I could not care less about the outcome of this game. To your point, Dave, I want to see the guys play well and continue to grow and progress from where they were yesterday.
Right. Shout out to your boy Funkadelic for the 4-point play. All right, we just got to wrap things up. We got to do a quick set change. We got DNVR Nuggets about to take this booth with the show on deck. If you are a sicko for Summer League, head over to DNVR Nuggets YouTube channel. Hang out with them. Reminder, Goat had a great write-up with his chat about his chat with Patrick Williams, allchgo.com. Go read that. He's got grades up from their first game yesterday. Go read that. We've got a vlog dropping later today about all the stuff we did yesterday. Stay tuned for that. And I got my part 1 of my pecking order diary from the first day also up on allchgo.com. Go read that. We will talk to you all later today. Bulls Warriors, 9 p.m. Central Tip, 7 here in Vegas. See you, Red. Be good.
Peace.